Good morning, everybody. What is going on? We are here at day 2 at Washington State SummerCon, and we are live. Bob is sleeping, and but I'm here, and I might have to wake Bob up and say, "Get your ass over here."
All you had to do is give me a beer.
Yeah, give him a beer. Yeah. Speaking of beer, how you doing, John?
What's up, everybody?
Hopefully everybody's doing good this morning. Like I said, last night we all hung out at our Airbnb with CP Reader, Little John, and his friend Bob. And
That was a nice house, man.
very nice house. Had a really nice time, and the drinks were flowing, and the obscenities were going.
The cities were going.
But we had a really nice time just hanging out with everyone. Let me say hi to the people in the chat. Rob Boswell, how you doing?
What's up, Rob?
Big John, what's up, man?
How's it going, John?
Cherokee Metal, long-time
Cherokee
fan of
Metal.
the show. This guy, look at this guy. The Noakes, that's my son right there. Christian, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
Christian.
I miss you. And Bob saying good morning to, or John saying good morning to Bob.
How's it going, John?
We got some panels coming up here. You got about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your first panel of the day?
See Bob Hall, Mike Grell, and Steve Englehart.
Yeah, it's called the Diaper Panel.
The diaper panel.
That's me.
The geriatric panel.
But yeah, so you excited?
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, he's got some questions and stuff. Should go pretty good.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm up with Larry Hama and Tim Seeley.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't prepared. I really don't need you for that one.
Yeah.
It's G.I. Joe. It's money shot, come again. Local man. I got it. It's no problem.
There you go.
I'm assuming there'll be a lot of questions for Larry Hama.
Yeah.
His line has been the busiest by far
For sure.
since we've been here, so I'm not too worried about finding any information. Although I do have a panel later today. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Neither does Bob. I introduced myself to her. What's her name? It's
I have no idea.
Claudia Gray. She's an
Yeah.
author.
Star
for
Wars
Star
author.
Wars novels. And I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're just getting started. Then at 1:30 you have the one you probably look forward to the most.
Marv Wolfman and Mark Wade.
Marv Wolfman and Mark Wade.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this will be a lot of fun. Let's see who else is in here. Captain Comics, how's it going, my friend? Ahoy, mates and
Ahoy.
mermaids. It's awesome. Austin, hello. Good morning, good afternoon. Awesome. Englehart, yeah, Englehart is here.
Englehart.
He thinks he's here,
You think right?
but he's here. And like,
I stole his chair this morning.
yeah, he did. He yelled at him. Dale from the UK, how you doing?
How's it going, Dale?
Appreciate you guys being here. Bob, I thought that, what's that say? Variant from Gus.
I thought the charcoal geisha variant from Gus Malk for shipping no kage. Oh, nice.
You know what that is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, he knows what it is.
The charcoal variant. That was an awesome book.
Yeah, I don't know what he's
I hope
talking
they
about.
continue that series for Shino Kage.
Yeah. So I just got done walking around the con floor, shooting some footage. Ran into Ming Chen. We talked a little bit and stuff like that, so that was kind of nice. And then actually ran into an old friend from grade school who he owns the Star Wars store here in Oregon.
Yep.
And we talked a little bit, and he'll be on the video that I put out. But he was actually one of the kids that was with me when we saw Todd McFarlane
At his school.
come to our high school. There's only like 5 or 6 of us. He was one of them, so he can verify the story, and we actually talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. So Dustin, how you doing, man? And I put him on the spot. I go, "Do you have a website?" He goes, "Yeah, but we really don't pay attention to it." I go, "Well, we're gonna talk about it,
Yeah.
so you better pay attention." So, but yeah, it's gonna be a good show. It's already getting really busy. And Bob's got some comics for sale here, some 50 centers, some $1, $3, $5.
Yeah, miscellaneous price.
Yeah, and then I just give stuff away. So I don't. We
Yeah.
kind of, he sells the stuff, I give it away.
Yeah. Makes it interesting for people walking past.
Yeah,
These are great.
priorities. What are you gonna do? But I had a great time last night. Really good dinner. We went to a bourbon restaurant.
Yeah.
Right?
It was New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
Cajun restaurant. Really good food.
It was really nice. Yeah. Was it good?
It was good.
No. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Why don't you ask me?
Hey, Bueller,
Yes,
I
Bob?
got a question for you.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Oh.
Oh.
That's for you guys right there. That's for you guys.
Bueller had the chicken Cajun pasta.
Yeah, that was
And
awesome.
he was drooling over it.
Yeah, I was very happy. It was good. It was the top 5.
Yeah.
First 5.
There you go.
But Dan DeDito walked by a little bit ago, said hi to us. Oh, here's where you guys are. That guy's a talker.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a lot to say.
That'll be an easy panel for you.
So that'll another easy one.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, my first question. There's 3 people on the panel. My first question is going to be: have any of you been fired from a job?
Right. You had to go there with
That's the panel, folks. Thanks for coming.
There you go.
Thanks for coming.
Maybe the only question where he's left speechless in the middle of a room.
Oh, there's Ming right over there. Let's see if I can't get Ming on here.
Oh, there you go.
He's hanging out in the Star Wars booth.
Let me go grab him real quick.
Yeah, to see if he wants to jump on real quick. We are live right now, so we'll see if he wants to jump on and join us. But he might be busy. Like I said, I talked to him a little bit ago. Very nice guy. Ming is a regular here at Washington State SummerCon, and he comes on. He's here every year and does his thing for Comic Book Man, and it's pretty awesome. So just good guy. He's just 2 booths over. His handler is the handler who was the handler for Howard Chaykin. So Howard Chaykin was that was interesting. Here he comes, the very first appearance of a comic book man on the show.
What's up, my friends? How are you? Welcome to the Washington State SummerCon 2023 edition. We're live. Bueller, Bob, and Ming.
There you go. What a group.
Yes.
What a group.
So I see behind me Hulk 181, the first full appearance of Wolverine. Do you own a copy?
Of course I do.
How many do you have?
I have 1. How many you got?
I don't have any.
Well, I will tell you this. My copy was a gift from one of my viewers.
Really?
Yes.
Is that viewer still viewing right now? Because I'm just saying.
His name is Steve Whiting. So
all right, Steve.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, I'll buy it. I don't need to. Yeah, that's cool, man. What condition is it in?
Doesn't matter. It's probably a 5.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, "Oh man, do you have this awesome, massive collection?"
Yeah.
Not really. You buy the key pieces that you like or love, and I mean, most of it isn't really. It's more sentimental, right?
Yes.
So my favorite comic of all time is Avengers 214. It was the first comic I ever got.
Yeah.
Kid in first grade had an extra copy. He gave it to me, and I read it cover to cover.
Yeah.
I was really enthralled by the the storyline is great. If anybody remembers out there, it's the one where Hank Pym, he deals with the fallout after he hits Janet Van Dyne and he gets cast out of the Avengers. The major story is Ghost Rider. Yeah. Just kind of they get into a battle with the Avengers. But I was really enthralled by the Hostess Fruit Pie commercial ad, and there's an ad for the CBS Saturday morning cartoons,
awesome.
The Shazam, Power Hour. I like that, and the fart powder ad. So. Yeah, comics, man.
Well, my first book was Contest of Champions.
Wow.
And I can remember buying that at my first comic shop in Milwaukee, Oregon. It was called Pegasus Books.
Yeah.
My mom took me there. I saw it on the wall. I'd seen it advertised in other comics because it has all the characters on the front.
Yeah.
And I saw it up there. My mom bought it. I still have it to this day.
Yeah, is it crazy? I kept mine too. It's in a long box, but original condition.
It's one of those things that it just stays with you. You have to have it. I have a handful of 5 books. They're special to me, like my Hulk 181, which was a gift from Steve.
Yeah.
Like I said, Steve, how you doing, my friend? He's from Florida.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. You're the man.
Punisher 129,
Spider-Man 129, Punisher,
which was a gift from my nephew. So thank you for that. And then I got X-Men number 94.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay.
And that was a gift from someone as well.
Yeah. Jim Lee, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff, dude.
All my books that are special were gifts from people.
Yeah.
Or when I got as a kid, and that's what makes them so special.
Yeah. Honestly, now if I want a key issue, I buy the most beat up copy I can find, which is actually not easy.
Yeah.
Everyone wants 5 O's and about 7 O's.
I like rough books. I like books that look like they've been loved.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
They tell a story.
Yeah,
we'll never know that story. Some kid bought off a magazine rack or a drugstore spinner rack. Yeah, they're cheaper. And the last one I got was Tales of Suspense 57, first Hawkeye.
Oh, nice.
It was beat to hell, man.
Yeah.
But I was in Robinson, Illinois, at this little Comic-Con, and talked the guy down to $100.
Yeah.
And a couple months later, I brought it with me to probably like a C2E2 or something.
Yeah.
Or I mean, and it might have been New York Comic-Con. Stan was signing. I got in ling, and then one of his guys was like, "Ming, man, you need that sign?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Follow me." And he walked me behind the curtain, popped out, and there was Stan.
Awesome.
It's like, "Hey, Ming, how the hell are you?" I was like, "You need that sign?" I'm like, "Yeah, Stan, if you don't mind." Signed it, got it graded. It looked like 1.5 at best.
Yeah.
Came back at 2.5. So
I never got the pleasure to actually meet Stanley. I saw him from a distance, and
amazing guy.
Yeah.
Amazing guy.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
Ask away.
So you are a regular here every year.
Yes.
What brings you back to Washington State Summer Con every year?
I love the vibe here. This kind of is way different than any
Yes.
other convention. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. A lot of conventions you go to now, they're big and they're people yelling at you, or there's no organization.
Yeah.
It's like herding cattle, and you get this feeling like, all right, they just want to make money. It's a business now. But to us, we were going to the church basements,
Yeah.
VFW halls. I mean, there'd be like 3 weird dudes with like beat up long boxes.
3 weird dudes.
Yeah, I mean they were.
Yeah.
They were the weirdos.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then maybe one guy with some beat up vintage toys
Yeah.
that were open, and that was it. We loved it, but it was fun. Like
Yes.
no one cared about
Yeah.
trying to get as much money out of your wallet as possible. It was more about fun.
Yeah.
And I feel make it fun. Like the money will come. You'll make the money if you make it fun first. I think they really do that here, and every year it gets better. Yeah, Steve James.
Yeah, Steve James.
He's amazing.
Owner, he's an awesome guy.
He's a great guy.
I've known
Great
him
guy.
for a few years.
Yeah, I
Really
met
great.
him when he invited us here in 2018. But I consider us very good friends now. And I love every year he's like, hey, he gets my feedback. He's like, you go to enough of these. Hey, should I book this person? What do you think if I do this? Hey, we're gonna do like a podcast gaming area or whatever. Like, dude, it's a great idea, Steve. So
Where is the game? I saw your video. You were in the game. Where is that game?
If you go out,
area?
take a left, and
Okay.
it's right at the end.
It looked pretty cool.
Not only it's one of the best gaming content creation areas I've ever seen at a convention. Not only that, it's the AC's cranked in there. So if you're here at
that's awesome.
SummerCon and you're like, oh, it's kind of hot,
Yeah.
go to the gaming area.
Were you in Texas for Fan Expo?
I was not at Fan Expo.
Okay, man, that was a scorcher. I was there a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago. Oh my god.
I heard the AC went out.
It did.
In Texas.
It was horrible.
In June.
It was
That
horrible.
ain't gonna fly, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no chance.
Let me ask you another question. You like coffee?
Love coffee.
Okay. Will you do me a favor?
I love coffee.
We grab him some. Who do you like better, Superman, Joker, or Harley Quinn?
Oh, is there Harley Quinn coffee? Let's do Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, man.
There you
Comics on coffee, my
Yeah.
friends. That's awesome.
You guys all know that Comics on Coffee is a sponsor of my show. They have the DC license
Dude.
now. They have DC
Holy
flavored
crap,
coffee.
man. It's a Nicaraguan grown and raised at 1,500 meters.
Yeah.
Nicaraguan coffee is good, man.
Yeah, that's yours, man.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
yours.
it.
If you want more, take it. There's Superman and I have the Joker
Okay.
flavored as well.
Chaotic coffee, my friends.
There
This
you
is
go.
awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. So
Yeah. I don't want to take up much more of your time. I
No,
know you got
dude.
people waiting.
I'm always happy to stream with you, man.
All right,
So
sweet.
and that's awesome.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it. All right,
Boom.
man. Take care, man.
See you
Have a
guys
good one.
later.
Grab another one.
I'm good. This is
Okay.
good.
Like I said, Ming is here every year. Just an awesome guy, very kind. Really makes everyone that comes to his booth feel like family, and very grateful to have him come on the show. I think I met him a couple of years ago, and I think he knew about me. He was like, "Oh, hey, Bueller, what's up?" So he had seen the podcast or the YouTube channel, and just a really nice guy. So every time I run into him, it's always nice to, and we get to give him some coffee, some Comics on Coffee. There you go. Use the code Bueller, you save 15%.
Comic book man just visited the.
Yeah,
Savage.
he didn't take a copy of Ninja Funk though. Damn it! I should have gave him a bunch of copies of Ninja Funk. But yeah, so there you go. There's Ming Chen. Like I said, he's just a couple booths over from us, and which is nice because you can see his booth. We can actually get him. Like I said yesterday, there's a curtain in between us and the other guys, and the guy's like, "Where are you?" And we're like, "We're on the other side of the curtain," and they don't even want to cross the curtain.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So it would have been nicer if we were on the other side of the curtain looking at everyone, so that way we could stare them down and make them feel guilty for not coming over here.
Can't call him over.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Let me go see if anyone's available real quick. You want to talk for a sec?
Sure.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. I was a fan of Comic Book Man when that show was out, and Ming Chen is a really approachable person, so it was really cool to have him come on over. He was just over at the Mandalorian booth, just next to us, and so let's see who we got. Here we got Robert, Comic Book D-Man. How you doing, buddy? Looks like Biggie Shack's in here. How's it going, my friend? Yeah, good to see you too, buddy. And let's see who else came in. I know a few more people came in while Ming Chen was in the booth. James Phelps, how's it going, my friend? Constipated Sim City is back. How's it going? Mark McKeever. All right, we got somebody else coming in. We got Dan DiDio. All right. Yeah, right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. Thanks for inviting me. This is live on. Am I on? Am I not on?
You are on. We're
Okay.
all good right here.
Okay,
And
great.
I first met Dan a couple years ago. We were on a trivia panel together,
Yes.
and I didn't get anything correct. He won. It was a total slaughter.
It was.
I felt like a deer in headlights.
Well, you know what I did is I did one of the trivia panels. It was questions on the movies, and I'm like, I don't watch the movies. So
Yeah.
You got to help me out here. But I do enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with it.
We actually had a kid from the audience come up, and he joined. This random kid, and he did really well.
Yeah.
He killed it. He was like right there with you.
You know what? Can I say something? That
Yes.
that's what I always used to complain about at DC and things. Is that I said the kids are really into the movies. They're not reading the comics the same way. They're really enjoying getting their superhero fiction movies. So for the comics, you got to find a way to up your ante, up your game in order to get people back and reading the books
There you
instead
go.
of looking to get their superhero fix just from films. You know?
So let me ask you something. Obviously, you're talking about it right now. What are some of the things we can do to get these kids back involved?
You know, it's interesting. I mean, it's an interesting time because I mean, the good news is people haven't stopped reading comics.
Yeah.
The only thing is their interests have changed. I think you've seen a generation or two of kids really start to embrace the anime, the manga books, and they've really been enjoying that, and they've been getting their superhero reading fix from those projects. So for us, I think we really have to bring a sense of visualization back in the books, bring a high sense of excitement, make the art really come apart and come alive, and make the books visually interesting and exciting, a way to pull people in, buy the artwork, and then have a story that really carries them all the way through. But if we start doing comics that read like textbooks, you know what I mean, or read like a novel, nothing wrong with that, but that shouldn't be the only flavor. Art is what used to sell comics most, and we got to put art back in the books themselves.
Nice.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys have started a new, you and Frank Miller have started a new publisher.
It's exactly, yeah.
And what's that like? I mean, that's in today's time, that's not an easy thing to do.
Let me tell you something. It's a bear.
Jesus.
You know what? We started up just as it was funny. The comic business had this little boom during the pandemic. A lot of people were at home. They were spending money. They were buying comics. So we launched just as the boom was coming to an end a little bit because people were getting back into society again. But we're doing this for the fun of us. You know what I mean? There's not anything to prove here. We're doing books that we enjoy. We talked a lot about craft and story, even art, like I was just saying. And we wanted to make books that we felt were the right way to do comics. And things that we felt were getting lost in comics. So we're having a blast doing it. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's really Frank and myself and a couple other people doing everything soup to nuts. So it's been a learning experience over this first year of coming together. And but we're having some fun with it. We stumbled a little bit with the Ronin book. We had some gap between issues 2 and 3. Yeah. But Frank's actually coming on to draw issue 4. And he's actually finished it already. So we got the rest of the book on track. And I feel like we're starting to get our feet on the ground and get a sense of who we are and what we want to be. And we're hoping the next wave of books that we come out with, which is going to be built around the Sin City prequel book that Frank is writing and drawing. Hopefully then we'll get ourselves into a good groove and be here for a while.
Yeah. And your books are available through Diamond, right?
Yes, we are.
They're in the previews.
They're in the previous catalog. I mean, we get lost because we only have 1 or 2 books a month.
Yeah.
So there's this big catalog, and there's these 2 pages about us. But that's okay. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we're doing shows like this. It's a little more of a grassroots approach because even though it's Frank and myself, you still got to get out there and remind people you're out there.
Yeah, where's Frank?
He's at home drawing, hopefully. I'm hoping he's working.
Yeah, no disrespect. You're a good drawer.
No,
Frank is kind of, he's on a different level.
Yeah, he doesn't get out as much, but the good part is that he's extraordinarily active on the books. On the Pandora book, he actually meets with Emma Kubert once a month to go over each of the books, how they're going to lay it out, and just work through the story. With Ronin, he gives full layouts to Philip Tan. He worked off those. He drew number 4. He's given me some variant covers, and now he's about to slide into Sin City. He wrote a 22-page Sin City story for Mila Manera, which we'll have out the end of the year, and then he's already starting to do designs and layouts for the Sin City Western, which is fun.
So on your new label, what one book would you recommend for someone brand new coming into it that's just kind of want to get the feel for what they're going to see in the future?
And here's the thing. All books should be created for brand new people. That's what it's for. Even for Ronin, that's a sequel, should feel like it's a book for somebody coming in brand new as well. And it's really now what we're looking at a genre. Like Ronin is our anime, manga, science fiction adventure story. Pandora is a young adult, fantasy book. My book, Ancient Enemies, and the one-shots around that are all built really much more in a superhero vein. And I'm working with an artist, Danila Beirut, who does this brilliant job of just laying out the story. He's a great storyteller. Love working with him. And then I've done a lot of one-shots of the characters that are in that book, so I could tell their origin stories in individual issues. And I've worked with people like Jose Luis and Jim Calafiore, and these guys that I work with at DC. So I've been very lucky to surround myself with people I'm very comfortable with. Yeah. Because when you don't have a big staff, you want to make sure that when you hand things off, you give it to work to people, it's going to be handled well and properly. And I love working with guys that you just enjoy just having an exchange of comics and talking the story with.
Nice. Are you related to Capullo? Because you and him look a lot alike.
You know what? We used to get that joke all the time.
I've had him on the channel.
Yeah.
He was here last year. I hosted his panel.
Yeah.
I was like, you look really familiar.
No. Greg calls me his evil twin.
Yeah.
So we used to take the pictures together. I was the evil twin. My question is, why wasn't he the evil twin? That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
He would more fit the evil twin.
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
Both of you guys have a very large personality too. So that's why I asked that question. I mean, you guys. When these two gentlemen are in the room. Let's put you that way.
We still enjoy comics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the difference. We're not doing right now. We're not doing it because we think this is big payday. We're doing it because there's this desire to tell stories.
Yeah.
And this is the medium that we prefer. And me personally, I wrote a book during COVID, so I had a novel come out this year called Hide or Seek. It's out there. It's out there in stores right now. But working on a novel, you're working by yourself. But with this. You work with artists, you work with other people, and I love the collaboration. I mean, if I miss anything, I miss really, working side by side. It's funny, people, some of my friends that are still at DC, they laugh at me. They go, you would have exploded at DC during COVID because the idea of working from home is foreign to me. I need that interaction. I love that creative energy when you put people together in a room and you're working up ideas and you're all getting excited, and it's that constant building that makes just product better, and I think that's what makes comics great, is that real true collaboration between writer and artist. And they talk about the Marvel method of doing an outline and letting the artist open up the storytelling. Frank and I believe in that completely, because my thought is that the writer is thinking very clearly about story, plot, and character and voice, but visualization is really what the artist does, and seeing things and how it works on the page and how it comes alive on the page. You really got to give the artist as much room to really express himself and get that on there. And trust me, if they're off a little bit, you can get them back on track. But sometimes they do things that take you in brand new directions and new ideas that I think just makes the story better and forces you makes you realize how you can improve yourself too. So that's why I love working with great artists like that.
That's awesome. Do you have anyone on your bucket list to come work with your new publication?
Actually, we're looking at new people. That's the kind of fun part. I mean, Frank talks about it. I think I'm comfortable saying it. We talk about craft a lot, and Frank tells a story about how many times he used to go back to try to break into comics, and he'd go into Neil Adams, and Neil Adams just kept on sending him away because he wasn't good enough. And every time he was sent home, he tried to make himself a little bit better, until finally, by the 4th time back, and he came back 4 times, he got turned off 3 times. Neil said he was good enough to make a suggestion, and Neil literally picked up the phone and got Frank a job at somewhere, Marvel or DC, something like that. And I think that's really interesting because it challenged him as an artist. It challenged him to be better, and he was listening to the suggestions of people who have been successful, and so that he can try to emulate that same success in his own way. a lot of what we're talking about now is moving that craft on. So when he talks about sitting down with Emma Cupid, he's learning from her and she's learning from him. And it's this wonderful collaborative process. And you should never, regardless of how long you've been doing something or how long you've been in a business, you should never sit idle. You should never just sit back.
Yeah.
You should always find a way to challenge yourself and improve yourself and grow. And there's no time to ever stop growing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, Dan. I appreciate you coming on here. You guys, do me a favor. Tell your comic shop to look in the previews book and order.
Yeah, it's the pages. It's two little pages. Sometimes they're stuck together, but don't be deterred. Pull them apart and find Frank Miller Presents.
There you go. And I'm going to be hosting their panel here later today. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We'll have some fun.
And good time. So thank you, Dan.
My
Appreciate
pleasure,
it.
man. Always
And,
great to see
have
you.
a great show.
Okay, I'll see you later
Appreciate
too.
it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Very cool. Like I said, I met Dan a couple years ago on a trivia panel, and he just killed me. It was, I mean, when I say it, I didn't even get a word out of my mouth before these guys just nailed it and stuff like that. So
That's pretty cool. You just had Dan DiDio inside of your booth here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Vincent D'Onofrio just got here.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd rumbling and stuff like that. But the nice thing, this con, all the guys here, and I'll just tell you guys, we have there said, hey, go to Bueller's booth, and let Bueller interview you and stuff like that. So it's really nice to get the chance to talk to these guys and the new faces and old faces and stuff like that. A lot of people here this year that I've never met before, which is kind of nice. And this year they kind of went with a older talent, or let's just say legends. In the industry.
Yeah.
Before they had a mixture of newer talent, currently working on projects, and older talent. This year they kind of went the other route. And so there's a lot of guys here that I've not met. So it's kind of nice, including like Larry Hum, which is the one I'm really looking forward to spending time with. He literally walked by the booth yesterday and looked like a G.I. Joe character.
He did.
He's got the Snake Eyes patch on his jacket.
Was that what it is?
So that's pretty cool.
I love the shades that he was wearing with the hat and he's walking by.
But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up for part one. I know Bob's got to get ready for a panel here in about a half hour or whatnot. And so thank you everyone for joining us for part one. We'll be back later today and hopefully have some more guests on. But this is what you guys can expect for the weekend. Probably more so tomorrow because we are hosting panels all day today.
All day today, yeah.
Tomorrow there's no panel scheduled, so it'll be a little bit quieter. And we can get guys on the show when they don't have any lines and stuff like that. So, all right, that's all I got for you. Don't forget to do all that stuff. I don't know.
Do all that stuff.
Yeah, you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, but you want to say,
everybody? Yeah, thanks for
say
tuning
something
in.
Say something smart, Bob.
There we go. Smart.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.